What up, Block fam? Welcome to today's episode where we are unboxing, checking out, going for a ride, giving you guys all the super close-up details of a Shoei RF-1400. Now, this episode is brought to you in part by J&P Cycles, so big thanks to J&P for collaborating with us. If you guys happen to own one of these helmets or you're thinking about buying one, do me a huge favor, drop a comment down in the comment section below. If you own one, let us know your thoughts and feedback on it, what you like about it, what you dislike about it. If you guys are thinking about buying one, drop a comment down below letting us know why you're considering this helmet. Roll the intro, let's get into it. A Shoei motorcycle helmet or safety helmet. This is once again the RF-1400. I got it in black and my size, as per their size chart, is 2XL. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this thing. I do have experience with Shoei helmets. I actually wrecked pretty good in a Shoei helmet on a Honda Grom on an indoor go-kart track.
It was at this moment he knew. He f***ed up.
I gotta give mad props to that helmet because the first thing that landed was my face. Basically kept me from like just straight hitting the ground with my face first. If you do have an accident with one of their helmets or drop it, is you can actually send it in and they will x-ray it for you and then let you know the overall health or status of the helmet, letting you know whether you should retire it or not. I sent mine to them. They did say that I should retire the helmet. That helmet was a Shoei RF-1200, and I ended up buying another RF-1200 to replace it. My experience with Shoei has been awesome. Let's go ahead and get to opening this thing up. Pinlock. Chin curtain, and it looks like visor neck roll. Oh, yeah. The Shoei RF-1400 takes everything they've learned over the years, improved it, and packed it all into one full-face motorcycle helmet. From aerodynamic vortex generators taken from the X14 to the center shield locking mechanism, the RF top vents, and the rear exhaust port, this helmet meets or exceeds DOT and Snell M2020 safety standards. Shoei did wind tunnel testing to refine the RF's aerodynamics. Over the RF-1200, they actually achieved 4% reduction in drag and 6% reduction in lift. Despite it being lighter, the shape of the spoilered shell was designed in a wind tunnel, and through that testing, Shoei was able to provide a quieter shell design while also tweaking the shape of the all-new CWR F2 shield. This provides an incredibly tight windproof and waterproof seal. That, combined with the volume of the cheek pads and removable ear pads, helps to soften the blow of the wind noise. The interior of the helmet is fully removable, washable, and replaceable. It's made from max dry materials to absorb and dissipate sweat 2 times quicker than traditional nylon. The cheek pad fabric is soft and durable and provides a comfort and plush fit, which is also multi-layered for improved stabilization and keeps the decibels down in the helmet. Of the entire Shoei lineup, this is actually the lightest helmet. It has 5 shell sizes, extra small to small being one, medium being another, large being another, XL to 2XL being another, and then 3XL. One of the few manufacturers that has so many shell sizes. It has a dual density EPS liner, superior ventilation, 3D max dry system, emergency quick release system, neatly secured chin strap, interchangeable cheek pads between all helmet sizes, has the Pinlock Evo pins and lens inserts, and comes with replaceable Pinlock pins. Also includes the breath guard and chin curtain, and on jpcycles.com, out of 636 customer reviews, scores a 4.5 out of 5. This is my least favorite part about getting a new helmet because it'll never be this clean again. And I'm about to grub it up with all my fingerprints. Clear visor on this one. They do offer multiple different visor options. Also offer multiple different color options for the shell. So we do have a couple of vents on the top which are adjustable, so they basically slide straight back. These are super cool because it looks like it's just part of the helmet, but it's actually the vent. So you basically just grab there, and it's got plenty of space, surface area if you were to grab with the glove. A couple different locking points, so you've got closed, and then there's another one right there which is like halfway, and then another one there which is all the way open. So we'll go ahead and start with the closed, both sides. One right here in the center as well. below the logo. You do also have a vent in the chin, which is open and closable. So that's going to be open. That's going to be closed. It feels like it does have a center. Yep. So that would be the center opening, and then all the way open. The visor, a couple different locking points. So this little piece right here, whenever you press it down, is locked in. So you have to kind of depress that and then push the visor up in order to unlatch it. It's going to take me a little bit of getting used to. I'm used to the, you know, little tab piece that's here being over on this side. You do have a couple different locking positions for the visor. Obviously all the way closed, and then one up from there. That would be like the what they call city mode. That's going to let in just a little bit of air. That's the next locking point, which is super close. So maybe that's like just double city mode. Who knows? Next one up. Next one up. All the way open, just so you guys can see those locking points from the side. One down, one down. I don't think I've ever seen a helmet that has two spots that are so close to one another. Like, I use this all the time, barely cracking it to get a little bit of airflow, but one more, like just barely above that, that's pretty cool. That's actually really thoughtful. To take off the visor, it is toolless, so you're just gonna take your finger and you're gonna press forward on this piece here. I mean, you can see through the clear visor. It's gonna unlatch it right there. Press that forward. Should be able to pop that out. There's your visor. The visor is Pinlock compatible, so that's what these little pieces here are for. What Pinlock is, it's this little extra insert. It says mist retardant. So this basically creates a thin insulated layer between the lens here and this new lens, which keeps it from fogging. I'll show you guys how to install that here in just a second. These visors do also have these little tiny, I would assume this is for wind turbulence, just to break it up after it's coming off of the visor. On the rear, you do have your exit vents right here. For the material here on the inside, it is a very premium feeling kind of leather material. God, I am such a huge fan of Shoei helmets, just for the feeling of the material that they have. The fitment on everything is just super well done. So you've got this basically trim here that fits really well into the next piece, which that's going to be on the interior EPS liner. You've got your D-ring straps. So let's go ahead, take these out. Boop, boop. There's your interior. Let's go ahead and start ripping some pads out. Cool thing about these is it can be removed in an emergency by pulling here, right? It says emergency use only. And the ear pads here, they actually you don't have to run your straps through there. They can be pulled out without having to pull the straps through the middle of them, which is pretty cool, pretty convenient. They are locked in through snaps. Super convenient. Love snaps. Between the shell and the actual interior liner, these are placed in, and that is kind of like a friction fastener. You guys can see it right there. It just fits right over that. Lines up, curves around, press in. That's it. It's in. Same on the back. Super nice. There's a reason that Shoei leads the pack, guys. I mean, just these little small details are one of the reasons that they do. I mean, look at this. This is all kind of skeletonized. It's going to allow for maximum breathability. It does have some spots here for speakers. So if you're to remove these, there you go. It's going to be a removable insert. But the cool thing is, like a lot of manufacturers, they'll just leave that open, right? Shoei actually includes something to plug it, right? If you're not going to be using a speaker, so that you still get the quietness of the foam. That's going to absorb sound pretty well. Easy peasy. Now the neck roll area and the top padding. Good solid snaps. Man, that neck roll, look at that. That is massive. The padding here though, very nice, super plush. Just feels soft. And then always an important part, the way that the headliner attaches to the crown here, so it looks like these just push forward. Doesn't have snaps. Traditionally, to have a helmet with snaps there because it'll add a pressure point. I have had helmets previously that have had snaps there, and yeah, you can feel them. So kind of fit in there like a little puzzle piece. There you go. There's your interior headliner. Also kind of minimizing the plastic, skeletonized. You can see where it's also vented, which lines up with the venting in the interior liner. There you go, a good close-up look of all of that. On the interior, we do have what looks to be an inspection sticker. It says M2020D Snell Foundation. So there's it's like a rating sticker in there. It also shows who inspected the product. So inspector is RONOD, October 16th, 2024. Taking a look at the straps here, plenty long, not gonna have any issue there. They are lined with what feels like a leather on this side, but then on this side here, they are that softer material, so the side that's like basically touching your neck is gonna be nice and soft. Those materials overlap whenever you do go to attach the D-rings. It's going to protect you from essentially having this against your skin. One of the things I'm sure to mention are Blockhead quick detailers. So this stuff is great on motorcycle helmets, on visors, if you want to basically get rid of all of these streaks, and you're going to leave a nice layer that's going to kind of repel any weather, bugs, any of that stuff. Check out our Blockhead quick detailer, waterless wash. Smells like coconuts or pina colada or something, so it'll smell amazing also, while also shining it up and protecting. So you guys can see kind of all the grubby fingerprint marks and everything that I've put all over this thing while handling it. I'm just going to hit it with a couple spritz, and then just take a clean microfiber, and you're just going to wipe it down. Like I said, this stuff is awesome for visors. It's awesome for the actual helmet. It is safe on gloss, on flat. So whichever helmet finish you've got, it's good on both. And it'll shine it right up, leave it smelling amazing. And it does leave like a layer of ceramic to help repel, you know, future weather, bugs, all of that stuff. Much better. Blockheadmoto.com. Check out the Joe Dirty Bike Bundle if you guys want kind of like a value pack. The Moto suds, the quick detailer, the wheel and tire, and the all-purpose cleaner degreaser. Before I do assemble this, I do need to wipe the inner part of the visor here, because I'm going to go ahead and put the Pinlock back on. So let's get this nice and cleaned up. Pinlock visor, like I said, it's a fog resistant or mist retardant. You're essentially going to have this bead of silicone which goes all the way around the visor. Now that bead basically goes in towards the visor, so it'll go this direction. And like I said, that's going to create this like little thin layer of insulated air which will keep the visor from fogging. Now to install these, a lot of people have trouble with this, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So go ahead and leave that layer, the protective layer on there until you've got it installed. You've got the layer here. All right, just leave that on. Don't touch this, obviously. And then, like I said, make sure the inside of your visor here is clean. Take your visor here, kind of put it under one arm, right? And you're gonna use essentially your ribs or your torso to kind of pull this outwards. What I do is I'm gonna get this back one started first, the notches on there around that post, like that. Then you're gonna wanna start to kind of place it in. You're going to notice on this side it doesn't line up whatsoever. It's like way off. So that's where we are going to do a little bit of this, pull the visor out. We're going to make that one go that way. Pinlock is on. Make sure that it is even down here as well as up here, and that silicone bead is making contact. They can pivot a little bit this way, so just make sure it's sat appropriately. Then after that, you're just going to go ahead, peel up that protective layer. Pinlock installed, super satisfying. No fog, anti-fog. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick reassembly and I'll let you guys know my thoughts on how that process feels. If you guys don't have like a nice surface to work on, you know, you're worried about scratching the helmet, you can take the helmet bag, put it down while reassembling as well, just to not scratch it. Pretty straightforward, relatively painless. I did have the most issue getting all of these tabs to line back up. Not a huge deal, you just gotta angle them correctly as you're placing them in. There is also a little arrow marker here, which notes the center. So basically get started with those and then just work your way out on each side. Not a huge deal, not a deal breaker at all. There you go. Shoei also does send you a couple extra little pieces inside of this bag here. So this is going to be for the nose area. I think it's called a breath guard, if I recall correctly. So you're gonna just place that in there. And that is gonna keep your breath from getting to the visor as easily. It's just a nice, kind of soft, a little firm, but silicone. And then also they send a chin guard, which is this piece here. This is going to fit in like that, and that's going to keep wind from getting into the helmet through the chin area. They also send a oil, and that is going to be for oiling the mechanical parts in here if needed. Chin guard installed. Now that's going to keep wind from getting into the helmet as easily. Well, this is mesh, so it's going to be breathable, and then this is elastic. Now, one of the great things about that, especially with having a beard, is that that keeps wind from getting into the helmet, but then the beard does as well, which makes for really, really great recording whenever you've got a microphone tucked in here and you're trying to record moto vlogs. So I'll be sure to do a full motovlog helmet setup video in the future, going through all of that with you guys. If you want to be notified of that, be sure that you're subscribed with that bell icon on so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Let's go ahead, get this thing outfitted with a motovlog helmet setup. All right, now that we've got this thing set up for motovlogging, let's go ahead and get it on. Ta-da! Oh my God, this thing feels amazing. Seriously. It might be a little big, honestly. I think I should have gone one size down instead of the 2X. I should have gotten the XL. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the strap done yet, but it does feel a little loose. All right, so in one of my videos, I was talking about this snap right here being like too far up, not accessible. This one is pretty far up, but it's barely on that edge. One thing I can say that I do foresee being an issue with an action camera is the fact that like this one has this little pickup part on the visor in the middle. So when it's closed all the way and latched, I have to reach behind the camera and press that and then go up. That's gonna be a little difficult with a glove on. Speaking of gloves, I need to go buy some because I forgot them. Let's see how sunglasses are with this thing since I don't have the tinted visor. Ooh. Okay, cool. Works for me. All right, motorcycle time. Skadoosh, and just like that, we're on the motorcycle. So I'm headed to buy some gloves because I absolutely hate. It just feels weird like riding with no gloves. But anyways, this episode's not about the gloves. This episode's about the helmet. And first thoughts and impressions on the Shoei RF-1400. Been riding with it for the first couple minutes. Is mwah, chef's kiss. I love this helmet. Seriously, Shoei just makes such good stuff. It is more of a premium price tag, and there's a reason that it's more of a premium price tag. I'm pretty sure they're all handmade, right? So it's handmade in Japan. It's got the whole certificate of authenticity or whatever they call it, who it was put together by. Think about it like this. There is a reason that in MotoGP, like the top of the top, of motorcycle super sport racing. There's a reason that so many of them use Shoei helmets. They're Snell rated. The overall fit, feel, the noise level, like how it feels kind of like going around the back, like how the padding is formed, it just feels good. It's a really, I can't honestly speak more highly. Like, this is the brand that most other like brands are usually compared to. It's usually one of those, you know, it's like, oh, this helmet manufacturer is charging, you know, $500 plus for a helmet. Okay, well, is it as good as a Shoei? Made themselves in the industry as a benchmark, you know, there's a reason for that. So yeah, I'm a fan. The wind noise, not bad, like, whatsoever. Like, getting above the fairing, you know, I've got a fairing here in front of me, so getting above the fairing, wind noise is just, it's, with the padding and the way that the helmet's shape is, it's not catching a ton of air. It's really just, you know, it's kind of nice, honestly, because I feel like I've been wearing helmets that have a bit more wind noise for a bit. Granted, like, you know, they're super lightweight and all that. You know, they tout like, oh, carbon fiber. Hell yeah, this bike feels great. You know, they tout carbon fiber as being like amazing, but it's like, cool, the exterior is carbon fiber and it's super lightweight, but the interior is what my head is constantly touching, so let's worry about that a little bit more, you know? Visibility feels great. You know, the visor is plenty big, got peripherals, awesome. Top to bottom is pretty good. Now with the RF-1400, I think that the visor area is a bit more centered, you know, so it's gonna be more for, what do you call it? Like, you know, sitting upright. So depending on whatever bike you have, if you're on a sport bike, you're probably looking at a different model. The sport bike, you're leaning forward, so you might be looking at the brow, like kind of up here of it a little bit more. Let's buy some gloves. No glove, no love. Fits like a glove. Thank you so much. Yeah, this helmet is definitely a little big for me. Damn it, that sucks. The helmet is definitely a little big, so I guess be mindful of that whenever you guys order. I did my sizing correctly, and I think I should have gone one down. I'm curious if I were to maybe get like bigger padding. I don't know, we'll see. So the issue with the thing that I was talking about with the visor, now that I have gloves, it is a little bit difficult to like kind of squeeze into there. Not a deal breaker. I might just roll around like this. I will say when the visor is closed too, it gets so much quieter. Like, it is noticeably quieter whenever I close the visor all the way. But yeah, I would prefer for that little latch thing to be on the left side rather than in the center, but that is very specific, you know, like I'm using a camera and the camera's in the way. That's not a flaw of the helmet whatsoever. That's just personal preference. So if you guys are going to be moto vlogging, you know, something to consider if you purchase this helmet. All right, let's get some food. We'll be right back, continue the helmet episode. Okay guys, done with Chick-fil-A. We've talked about getting back to our roots, right? Coming to Chick-fil-A while doing a moto vlog. Helmet review, wearing a Shoei. Man. Temporary serving areas, drive-through is open, lobby is closed. Damn it! I'm gonna push this damn bike through the drive-through. This sucks. Pushing a Harley Davidson through a Chick-fil-A drive-through. So after we got hit by a hurricane in Florida, I didn't want to be that loud guy, you know, on a Harley or for the bike to overheat. So I just pushed it through the drive-thru because I wanted to be considerate. And I got chicken sandwiches because I'd been eating like my hurricane prep food for a long time. A couple days and was pretty much over it. Well, I'm not going to spoil the ending. You guys got to go watch it. Okay, so back to the helmet review. Yeah, honestly, guys, I'm freaking loving it. You know, like as I knew I would. The city highway mode, so you know I've got a fairing in front of me, but it's still allowing a little bit of wind. But this is actually pretty good. I was curious, I was thinking that I was only going to use this one like barely open, but honestly I think I'm going to use the second one up more than I would the one right there, you know. Surprising. It does have a good feel, you know, obviously using the visor. And when it's closed, holy shit, Like, it is so much more quiet. Using the vents with gloves feels good. Let's try the center. Yeah, they all feel great, man. It's like Shoei did their research on what, you know, actually works while wearing motorcycle gloves. You know, you need to be able to like just throw your hand on there, your glovey finger, and push her up or down, and it worked. It works. And honestly, it feels really good with the sunglasses. Like, you know, having a tinted visor is definitely my preference, but if you guys just are rocking the clear, you don't want to keep up with, you know, having a tinted one and then having a clear one if you're going from like riding during the day to riding at night. You know, a lot of people do that. If you got bags or something on your bike, that's cool. You can keep like the swapped out visors in those. I can't remember if Shoei has a transitional visor or not. I want to say that they do. I'll be sure to post it up on the screen right here. If they don't, I'll be sure to post up something random. I'll leave it up to Justin, and we'll post that up right here instead. Who knows which direction that goes. Maybe we post up the transitional visor and the random thing, because I'm super curious now what the random thing would be. Yeah, honestly, I'm super bummed that I got a size too large. You know, it fits, it works, but I can definitely feel it kind of slipping around, so double check. If you guys are like in between sizes, you know, and it's like, you're like, maybe that next one up, stick with that one down. Like, I think I was like a half size off, and padding does break in, so there's that. But yeah, if you guys are interested in scooping one up, be sure to scoop one up at J&P Cycles. Link down in the description below. Also, rep them, because you gotta. I did have expectations going into this helmet review because it is Shoei, and honestly, it met all of those expectations and more. I haven't worn a Shoei in a really long time, like I said, and back in my day, you know, long time ago, you know, I was rocking that Shoei RF-1400, ended up high-siding on a Grom to faceplant, and here we are, back in the Shoei, and still loving it. All right, there you have it, guys. That is the unboxing, first ride, and my review, thoughts, opinions of the Shoei RF-1400. I mean, I thought I was going to be a fan of it going into it. I am a very big fan. Shoei quality is just really unmatched in most helmets that I've tried. We do have a lot more helmets coming up, but if you guys are thinking about going with Shoei as your main lid, that is definitely a great bet. It's a great brand. It feels premium. You know, the very tactile feel of the vents, the material of the inner padding, the way that the padding and the neck roll kind of, you know, fits. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's squeezing your head. It just feels really, really nice. I would say, once again, on that fitment, if you're kind of in between and you're like on the higher end, definitely stick a size lower. For me, like I said, I was in that right in the middle, right on the edge of XL and like the bottom end of 2X, and I should have gone XL because this is a little big on me. But that's the cool thing about J&P Cycles, is that if you do end up doing that and the fitment is off, check out their return policy. Usually it's a no-nonsense swap. There's my thoughts, opinions. If you guys are interested in scooping this helmet up, there is a link down in the description below. Like I said, they offer lots of different colorways. They offer lots of different visor options. Once again, if you guys do have any experience with this helmet, you've owned it, you know, you've got feedback on it, or if you're looking to purchase it, do me a huge favor, drop a comment down in the comment section below. Let us know your experience with it, or let us know why you're looking to purchase it. Big thanks once again to J&P Cycles. Greatly appreciate the collaboration. You guys be sure to check them out. They got everything you need, from motorcycle helmets, gear like gloves, pants, jackets. They've got parts. We literally built the bike that we call Delphine for Born Free with a ton of parts, which are like vintage style, you know, 1930s, 1940s era Harley Davidson parts. They've got stuff for sport bikes on there, anything and everything you need for maintenance items, lighting, seriously everything. Check them out, link down in the description below. Big thanks for watching this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, do us a huge favor, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, you want to see more motorcycle content like this, helmet reviews, you know, motorcycle builds, Amanda's bike. We're doing a build on this giveaway here, doing installs on bags, we're powder coating, we're doing some CNC work, I mean, all sorts of. Be sure you're subscribed to see all of that stuff. Hit the bell icon also, so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Till next time, ride safe out there, stay vigilant. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.